Diamond Edge 320 versus Dragon X8 compound bow. That's right. I'm Sean McVay with Sean's Outdoor Adventures, and in this video I'm going to compare the Diamond Edge 320 versus the Dragon X8 compound bows. If you have an interest in purchasing either of these bows, I would love it if you use the links I provide in the description section. I have an affiliate program with Amazon, so I can get a little kickback that way. But also, if you want to buy the Dragon X8, I really encourage you to use the manufacturer's link that I have. They give a little more support to my channel than Amazon does. So thank you to those of you who end up doing that, because it does support what I'm doing. You know, either purchase will help, and I appreciate that. Every little bit helps, because a lot of times with YouTube, my archery and hunting videos get demonetized because YouTube does that. And so having some affiliate support like this is very helpful. So thank you if you're going to purchase either of these bows for the support you give by using those links. Now, I want to just compare these two and give you some data to help you make a buying decision if you're in the market for either one of these bows, or you're looking for a bow. First of all, these are great bows for you can set them up for just about anybody. They have such a large draw length range and draw weight range, and they're really, very functional. You can hunt with these bows. People sometimes ask me, can I hunt with this? Absolutely. You can hunt with either one of these bows, be very effective, and it is definitely enough bow to hunt with. Okay, so let's look at some of the data here for the two bows. So if the Edge 320 versus the Dragon X8, the MSRP for the Edge 320 is $449 according to their website, and that's the manufacturer's recommended retail price. They probably have a MAP price, a minimum you're allowed to sell it for, because I have seen it for sale for $399.99 on the on different areas of the website, including like Amazon. But the Dragon X8 is $199. For the maximum draw length of the Edge 320, it's advertised as 31, but at peak weight it will only do 30.5 inches. So if you want to have 31 inches, you have to actually decrease the draw weight for it to be able to reach that 31. Because what happens is you have your limbs here. As you decrease the draw weight, the tips of the limbs, which is out here, they come in, and so they're actually, let me exaggerate, let's say it's like this. As they come in, the string is out here, it's moving farther back away from the riser over here, and so that is how the end of that draw length gets pushed back a little bit. So that is how you can end up getting 31. You'll have to go to my website for that data. I have data charts on all that. What draw length, at what draw weight will you finally get the 31-inch draw length? And so anyway, just be aware of that. There are some of those types of details. If you are a 31-inch draw and you want to shoot at 70 pounds, the Edge 320 might not be the best selection, because you can't quite get there at those specifications. At the minimum draw length, it's 15 for the Edge 320 and 18 for the Dragon. With all these long adjustability range bows, I have found that the lower draw length range settings is junk. It's not even really useful. It's not a draw curve anymore. It's just like you have to pull real hard, and all of a sudden it's just like and so I wouldn't want to have someone starting out in archery shooting that. So, but you can certainly have go to a pro shop, have them put it to 15-inch draw and feel it for yourself and say, would I want my kid shooting that? Most people are going to say, no way. So anyway, those lower draw length ranges are not very functional anyway. So max draw weight, 70 pounds. For the Dragon X8, you can go 60 or 70 pounds. And so the benefit there is if you're only going to shoot at 60 pounds, get the 60-pound limb, because bows typically perform at their best performance when they're at peak weight. Another thing to be aware of is that as you lower the draw length on either of these bows, the peak weight goes down. So at 27-inch draw length, you might only be able to shoot, 65 pounds as a peak. So keep that in mind for either of these bows when you're making a purchase. Go to my website, Sean'sOutdoorAdventures.com, pull up, I have a review blog there, and you can just go through all the bows. I have data charts for all of them, and you can see what is the draw weight at your draw length for any of these types of bows. The brace height, 7¼ inches for the Edge 320, 6½ inch brace height for the Dragon X8. So the shorter brace height that helps give a little more speed because the string is acting on the arrow for a little bit longer time. Traditionally, it's believed that the longer brace height is a little bit more forgiving because, if you have any little movement at the very end of the shot, it could be translated into where the arrow goes. So those are some of the things there. Now, the Edge 320 is advertised as 85% let off. I didn't experience that when I shot it, so I'm not quite sure how they get 85, but whatever. And then the Dragon X8 they advertise it as 70 to 80% let off. I'm not quite sure how you get to the 80% let off on that either. When I shot it, it was giving me 70% let off. The axle to axle length is 32 inches for the Edge 320 and 30 inches. For the arrow rest, we have a whisker biscuit on the Edge 320 and a Hashed style rest on the Dragon X8. Whisker biscuit is you lose a few feet per second on your arrow because the fletching with the friction going through the rest, it slows the arrow down a little bit. When I do my speed testings, I use a bare shaft for that specific reason because it doesn't give you the best readings when you have fletching on there. So actually the speed readings that I have listed, if you're going to be shooting an arrow with a fletch, which you will be, those speeds would actually be lower, a few feet per second lower than my chart down below, which I'll show you in a minute. The Hashed style rest does the same thing, but it has open space where the fletching goes through, so you don't lose speed from friction. So I kind of prefer the Hashed myself. For a sight, you have a 3-pin system. On the Edge 320. For the Dragon X8, you have a 5-pin. They both come with a peep sight. It does not come installed on the Edge 320, where it does come installed on the Dragon X8. They both come with a stabilizer and sling. The Edge 320 does come with a quiver, whereas this package for the Dragon does not. Quiver can run you about $30, $40 for the type of quiver that's on the Edge 320. I actually did not like the quiver that comes on the Edge 320. You can see that in my review video. I would actually probably swap it out for the way that it attaches and detaches. I just really did not like at all. It was just, I would not use that quiver. Adjustable, the tools to adjust the bow do not come with the Edge 320. They do come for the Dragon X8. The limb, you have a solid limb on the Edge 320. You have a split limb on the Dragon X8. As I mentioned in the comparison video I did for the SB1 and the Dragon, with the solid limb, solid limbs have this tendency to crack right at that opening where the cam is. And to try to help for that, they have a little screw and a nut right there to try to add some rigidity. That's just one little more thing that can go wrong. I actually had a viewer a few years ago bought the SB1 at my recommendation because it is the Edge 320 and the SB1 are good bows, and so I do recommend them to people. And years ago I recommended it to somebody and he bought it and that screw came out and it messed up the cam and he had to go through this whole warranty process. So there can be, that's a rare situation, but it can happen. So it's just, it's just a detail. With the split limb, you have 2 extra limbs essentially. You have 4 limbs total because they're all operating on their own. And something that's very helpful with that is the split yoke. So now which is what you have on the Dragon X8, you have a split yoke for the cables. For the Edge 320, the cable goes right to the cam. So picture this, with the solid limb, it still flexes, and so you can still have cam lean, but it's intended to help a little bit to manage cam lean. Whereas with the split limb, having the yoke system, you can manage cam lean, you can remove cam lean, you can put it in however you want. You have that capability with the split yoke. So there is some limitations in tuning with the Edge 320, whereas the Dragon X8 gives you more flexibility there. I have tuning videos on all that. You can yoke tune the Edge or the Dragon X8. And so that is very helpful, especially for tuning for broadheads. With either of these bows, I recommend a fixed blade broadhead with a razor blade to the tip. And for that, you kind of need to have perfect arrow flight. It's easier to tune for that by yourself with this split yoke system. If you are trying to tune the Edge 320 and you move the rest a little bit to try to get perfect tune and it's not working, that means you're going to have to shim the cams. That means you take the little C-clamps off the axle, you have to slide the axle out, drop the cam out, there's shims on either side of the cam, and let's say that they're both equally thick. Well, to compensate for this tuning, you have to maybe put a thinner one here and a fatter one there. So now you got to go get shims, and then you got to put those in there, put the whole thing back together on both ends, test it again. If it's still not right, then you got to shim it again with different thickness. It can be done. It's just a pain. It's not fun. I've never enjoyed shimming cams around to get good tuning. I kind of prefer yoke systems for that reason. All right, so let's look at some speeds, and this is with a 350 grain arrow. So at a 31-inch draw length, we have 320 feet per second, and you can actually look down this list. I just realized that I have to leave for work right now, so I'm going to have to end my recording here. Bam! Okay, so what was a single instant for you has been a whole day for me. I had to run before I could finish that video, and I just want to conclude taking a look at the speed with the 350 grain arrow. Diamond Edge 320 was a little bit faster from a lot of these, except for the very bottom. The Dragon X8 kind of took the lead at the very bottom, shorter draw lengths. Let's talk about hunting for a second. You can hunt with both of these bows. In fact, last season, I took a Diamond Edge 320 out a couple times hunting. I never had a deer come by. If I have a Dragon X8 on hand this year, come hunting season, maybe I'll take one out and see how it goes, see if I can harvest a deer. As an example for you that you certainly could hunt with a bow like this. I am giving away a Dragon X8 here within the next few weeks. So in order to win that, just subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon so you know when I go live. I'm going to go live unannounced, and somebody who shows up on that live call or that live broadcast is going to win that bow. I've got some other bows I'll be giving out this year. I'm going to be giving away a Elite Cure as well in the month of August, and I'm giving that away. You're going to track the scripture verses for that particular giveaway, and the scripture verse for this video is Psalm 23. Psalm 23, a favorite of mine. So I thank you for tuning in to this little comparison video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see any more data on these bows, make sure you check out my website, Sean'sOutdoorAdventures.com. I've got a little blog where I post articles doing product reviews, and I have some data charts in those product reviews as well. And I may even write up an article on this comparison and post this data chart along with the others. So again, check that out if you're interested. If you want to buy either one of these bows, look in the description section of this video. I'll have links. If you want to get the Dragon X8, I encourage you to use the link to the manufacturer's website. They give me a little kickback. I also have an Amazon affiliate program, and I get a smaller kickback for people who purchase through that link. So, but if you're looking to get the Dragon X8 to get somebody into hunting or just into archery, it would be a great support if you use the link to the manufacturer's website. Let the data speak for itself. The $200 is quite an economical way to go if you just are looking to get into archery, and definitely a good bow. And the Diamond Edge 320 is good too. So, but anyway, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Sean McVay with Sean's Outdoor Adventures. Until next time, take care and God bless.